What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfire. So we do have a huge scoop in the fact that a villain who was in one of the first Spider-Man movies was teasing his return ahead of Spider-Man 4. But what everybody seemed to miss in their reporting of this scoop yesterday was this was not the first time we heard this. In fact, this confirms leaks we heard last year from a trusted industry insider source, and perhaps the movie hasn't changed as much as we thought with the script rewrites. We're breaking it all down. The breaking scoop from yesterday, which villain teased his return in an upcoming film, and how this confirms a major leak from a trusted industry insider source in the last 6 months about what Spider-Man 4's original script was supposed to be. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. If you're into that kind of thing, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway if you want. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the first part of this broke in an exclusive headline coming from The Direct. They're an industry insider editorial that we've covered quite often at the channel, just not recently. They do have a trusted track record with a lot of the scoops they've run in the past. This was under the headlines, Spider-Man Homecoming's Bokeem Woodbine teases shocker villain's return ahead of Spider-Man 4 exclusive, classic big bad in the Wall Crawlers Rogues Gallery might be coming back after all. They go on to report, quote, in an exclusive interview with The Direct's Russ Milheim at South by Southwest's premiere for Apple TV's Government Cheese series, Spider-Man Homecoming actor Bokeem Woodbine addressed the idea of his villain Shocker making his big screen return. When asked about the potential of his MCU character popping back up in the upcoming Spider-Man 4 or beyond, Woodbine said, I get the feeling his Homecoming Spider-Man appearance wasn't the last time you were going to see him. The Direct said, where's the Shocker? Where did you go? Bokeem Woodbine said, that is a very good question, and I'm wondering the same, but I get this feeling it might not be the last time you see Shocker. They go on to mention that he didn't elaborate on what feeling means, but it is the first insinuation fans have gotten, quote, that the Homecoming actor thinks he may not be done with his Spider-Man villain role after all these years. He also made reference to the future of his character returning when he said maybe somewhere down the road we can get closer to the classic Shocker suit, but that in the first film they wanted him to show his face, so they wouldn't let him wear a mask. They told him that he acts with his face, and you've heard Ryan Reynolds talk about Deadpool much the same way. You've got to be more like a clown when people can't see your face, even with the digital eyes giving him some facial expressions. You got to be a lot more animated with your body. Now, I conversely think since his role wasn't all that big in the first Spider-Man movie, that would have been the time to put the mask on him, but hey, that's in retrospect, and honestly, Spider-Man Homecoming is a great film. Now notice, he is teasing his return ahead of Spider-Man 4, but at no point does he concisely say he's returning for that film specifically. Though you would think if he was this confident that he might be coming back after basically his role has been dormant for this long, he might know something. Well, let's rewind the clock back just about 2 months to the beginning of January, when trusted industry insider source Daniel Rickman, you guys can follow him over on RPK News, he's a source we cover quite often at the channel with a proven track record, he dropped an update on January 8th that, quote, they're still rewriting the script for Spider-Man 4. The original script version, before they scrapped it, had Scorpion and Shocker returning for the film. Oh, you don't say. Now, all of the reports leading up to this name drop for these two villains said there was an epic struggle between Sony and Marvel, where obviously Sony wanted to try to outdo themselves with Spider-Man No Way Home and make it a multiverse story, possibly with Tobey and Andrew returning. And then it was said on Marvel's side they wanted to keep it a ground level story where they had specifically left Spider-Man the last time we saw him at the end of the film, cut off from his benefactor and mentor, cut off from his friends, cut off from any financial support or Aunt May, and cut off from his connection to the Avengers, simply on his own trying to make it. Seems like it was leading into a ground level story, and that's the setting where you assumed we would have seen the Shocker and Scorpion return, what could have loosely been compiled as a Sinister Six, although it's a little curious to think what the other 3 or 4 villains may be, especially if Venom somehow works into the film and teaming up with Peter Parker, topic for a different video. Now since then, some of the reports have said, very obviously now with the reveals of the concept art, knowing that Spider-Man is set between the 2 Avengers film, it must be a Battle World film, and the only part that I absolutely necessarily agree with is that Spider-Man 4 will not be a prequel of any kind, so whatever sort of consequences happen during Avengers Doomsday will 100% impact that film. And you got to imagine, as I've said before, dominoes have to fall, right? You have to know what's going to happen in Doomsday, how it's going to end, and where Peter Parker will specifically be the beginning, middle, and end of that film, so that you can finish writing the script for Spider-Man 4. And you have to imagine how much of those writers' rooms are contingent on each other, sharing notes and constantly emailing every morning, hey man, have you finished yet? Have you finished yet? We've got to finish our script. But in that regard, I think it a lot less likely now that Shocker and Scorpion could show up. Now, again, it proves what Daniel Richtman was saying about an original script, and it's not out of the question we could see some of these villains return, but they do seem like they are going away totally from the grounded level story where you would expect to see the Scorpion or the Shocker return, or what it sounds like was their loose attempt at a Sinister Six that we are woefully short from. Now, there's sort of been this compiling of leaks and rumors as far as what's going on with Sony's Spider-Verse. If you remember, after Kraven bombed, there was reports that they were going to end the Spider-Verse, and then the officials over at Sony came out and said, no, we're not ending it. We're just going to sort of soft reboot it. We're going to keep going forward, but we're going to be a lot more picky about the movies we make. Then there was a rumor that their whole reboot plan included, we'll introduce Miles Morales, and then he'll be the Spider-Man of our Sony Spider-Verse, while Tom Holland's Peter Parker remains in the 616 MCU. Now, there are all sorts of things we could argue about here, but let's face it, right? Sony's Spider-Man-less Spider-Verse doesn't work, and if they're allowed to use a Miles Morales in their own live-action universe, they should have had a Spider-Man a long time ago. Really, they missed the boat with just bringing Andrew back after No Way Home. Again, topics for totally different videos that we've already exhausted here at the channel. Still though, Secret Wars is going to be a movie that features heroes from all of the Marvel universes, and what better way to add an intense amount of value just to the character alone, especially from box office numbers though, to have Miles Morales be a part of the Secret Wars event before you spin him off into your own Spider-Verse. I mean, talk about having the ultimate introduction and segue into actually being a character that people care about, because he'll have been a part of what's probably going to be the biggest story in Marvel history. Well, the Russos are certainly hoping so, and I know us as a fan base are hoping so too. And so really, all the stories about Null, Venom, Shocker, Scorpion, all this stuff, I would say scratch it all out. And if you're really trying to hang your hat on any of these Spider-Man 4 scoops, to me, Miles Morales is the most likely of the bunch. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments as always. And if they are going to go with Miles Morales, who should play him in the live action universe? I am all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. The simplest way to be entered to win, all you got to do, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced at the end of videos when we have an announcement, and we give them away for every drop of a Marvel TV show or movie. There are still a ton left this year. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places. Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name Allfires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.